I'm going to share with you some information I received today as I was guided to look through my journal and search for a word that brought this topic up that actually was more or less written within this journal. It jumped to me and I needed to start writing a little bit more about that. And as I did, Spirit joined me as always. And I'm going to share with you what was shared with me, and then I'm going to also share my personal translation of that. But feel what's yours, okay? It's titled "Play the Fool Who Doesn't Know and Doesn't Fear the Unknown." Moving forward in the new paradigm construct that serves our higher purpose on this planet brings me to the conclusion of desperation, a topic of importance today. It's time to call home. It is time to consider oneself as whole and not broken. It is used to be controlled by mind patter, and with it means the self. Thoughts and feelings derived from previous experiences, truths and judgments. Let's break free from the undeniable broken self and start to rebuild this construct that can hold you beyond your wildest imagination. Frequencies cannot be denied once we admit to the flow that recalls our membrane to stagger beneath the so-called concepts of desaturation. We once knew that we were drifting off into a minefield of no tomorrows. This made you feel pushed to the edge of the timeline that carries more than the self-righteousness. It carries all. And within that newborn revelation, you can see the end is near. Program true passion where it belongs. Many have lurked beneath the surface and yet are lost as they direct themselves continuously to the place of comfort, the place known. Release the focus to grip onto what is known and leap into the unknown, like a fool that doesn't know and doesn't fear the unknown, as the so-called fool will encounter the unexpected, the undecided, the unrevealed, as there are no boundaries that prevents them to meet up with the future that lies ahead to be discovered. Be the so-called fool and wander off into the midst that holds your destiny. Surrender, then free yourself as the timeline has begun to surface. There where no one went will be seen, discussed, and discovered. Bring yourself forward and see within the proximity of the truth that lies within your soul's true meaning of existing on the surface called Eritrea's outcome. Forgiveness lies within. See, be. Yet bring yourself there where limitations are no more. So this was given to me, and as people know who know me, I write down the words that are being given, and then the sentences are formed, and it's encoded, and you have to truly read between the lines if the given is not understood instantly, because you already do so. So I'm going back to the beginning, as it was said that moving forward in a new paradigm construct that serves our higher purpose on this planet brings me to the conclusion of desperation, a topic of importance today. So, brings me to the conclusion of desperation means that desperation needs to come to an end. And then it continues that it's time to call home, it's time to consider oneself as whole and not broken. And that's in relation to the desperation that needs to be more or less released out of our essence, out of our system, out of our belief system. And that lies hand in hand with the controlled mind pattern, thoughts and feelings derived from previous experiences, truths and judgments. It goes on with, let's break free from the undeniable broken self and start to rebuild the construct that can hold you beyond your wildest imagination. And I'm sure that's clear to everyone. Frequencies cannot be denied once we admit to the flow that recalls our membrane to stagger beneath the so-called concept of desaturation. This is something that honestly I will have to look up to understand myself. But if I feel it, it means that the frequencies, the higher frequencies that we can adjust to, is something that we cannot overlook anymore once we go beyond the self-limitations, as discussed before. We once knew that we were drifting off into a minefield of no tomorrows. This made you feel pushed to the edge of the timeline that carries more than self-righteousness, and that's what I see as the awakening of mankind that is happening now in larger scale than ever before. And it carries all. It's, understanding the all that is, the all connectedness. We are all one. And within that the newborn revelation, you can see the end is near. And with that said, it's not the end of time. Well, the end of that certain timeline that we have lived in is near. But it means there's a rebirth happening. And programmed through passion where it belongs. We have put our passion into things that are absolutely irrelevant. So start finding what's really truthful for you and put passion to that. So you can start manifesting, creating, and becoming what you are supposed to be. Many have lurked beneath the surface and yet are lost. So many have lurked, many have sensed things, many have tried to explore certain pathways that were different yet felt right. But they lost. They are lost though, because they directed themselves continuously to the place of comfort, the place known. Every single time, when people used to start to discover themselves or start to discover deeper parts of themselves, they got distracted again and went back into the same old rhythm. The rhythm that was known, the habits, the patterns that were known. Because they thought it was easier. Yet didn't realize that they were continuing in a vicious circle with no end and no beginning of truth. Now, release the focus to grip on what is known and leap into the unknown, like a fool that doesn't know and doesn't fear the unknown. We call those people fools. We have called those people fools in the past, and that's why they refer to that like this. As the so-called fool will encounter the unexpected, the undecided and unrevealed, as there are no boundaries that prevents him to meet up with the future that lies ahead to be discovered. Pretty clear, huh? Now, so be the so-called fool and wander off into the midst that holds your destiny. Surrender, then free yourself as the timeline has begun, in better English I guess, to surface. There where no one went will be seen, discussed and discovered. Bring yourself forward and see within the proximity of the truth that lies within your soul's true meaning of existing on this surface called Eritrea's outcome. Forgiveness lies within see, be, yet bring yourself there when limitations are no more. Eritrea, they have mentioned that before to me in different, I guess, channelings, if you wish. And look it up and see what brings forward with Eritrea. But it has something to do with the beginning of time and maybe the beginning of mankind, humankind. Okay, I'd like to leave it with that. I'm going to put this in my blog, my Xsist blog, that you can find a link on my Xsist website, www.xsist.org. At the top you have various links of my YouTube channel and my blog, Twitter, etc. So feel free to click on those and become a follower if you like. But you'll find some more information. You can reread what I just read to you. Okay? So do your thing, and until we meet again, much love.